Keeping in mind that holistic guidance depends on a multiple pathways approach that requires multiple types of interventions to help understand your students better. Now, we shall be discussing the various tools and techniques to empower you to do these tasks in a far more consistent and efficient manner. It is rather simple to provide guidance and counseling to a small number of students. However, it becomes increasingly difficult when the scale and the number of students are larger. Then, usage of psychometric assessments and tools become important to be able to help you reduce the amount of time and effort required to come to the same kind of conclusions. Now, a seasoned career guide would be able to come to similar kinds of conclusions about students without psychometric assessments as well. However, a psychometric assessment aids in consistency, is validated by research, and also allows for other objective viewpoints because the theories behind each psychometric assessment are rather transparent and their workings are in the open. In the subsequent modules, we will be discussing the various types of tools to be used, the time required for those tools. We would be sharing with you the aspects that you need to consider when looking at these tools, how to use them more effectively, and also to evaluate whether these tools will be useful for your students and your school. Before we go ahead any further, it is important for us to note that each of the psychometric tools that are to be implemented with students have to be pre-approved by your board and school. This is done so that any psychometric tool that is being used has been validated with the sample size, which is usually 13 to 17-year-olds in your school between classes 9th to class 12. Whether that was the right sample size that the psychometric assessment publisher had kept in mind when creating the assessment. What does the assessment aim to tell you? What will the report look like? How are the reports going to be analyzed? How are the assessments going to be implemented? These are few factors that we would discuss with you. However, we are not prescribing any specific tool here, just to be able to tell you how these tools could help you more, and if you had to evaluate tools for the benefit of your students, how to be able to go about that process. Let's move on to the next few modules to understand this with a little more depth.